Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Bhaktiman Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So we are seeing that Purva Bhaksha. That's Shankara's introduction. I think we just saw the first 3-4 lines, right? Yeah. And yeah, iti kriyapadam shastrasya prapushya. Atha vedantanam anarthakyam sya. That because akritya kriyarthatva. If it is not connected with kriya, it is not useful. That is the Jaimini's stand. The Purva Mimamsa stand. But you cannot see. Since Veda is a Pramana and Upanishad forms part of the Vedas, you cannot say the Upanishads are useless. Okay. Because then you are saying one part of the Veda is meaningless, one part of the Veda is meaningful. That will bring in problems to the very apurushayatam of the Veda. When a human being writes a book, whether it's a thesis or a book or whatever, serious work, general work, whatever, you can say something is valid, something is not valid. That fault should not be there in something that has come from Ishvara. It is supposed to be flawless. So if there are flaws, that means what? Either there has been interpolations, no modern thinking, there have been interpolations. If there are interpolations, means which to trust, which not to trust. If you say something is an interpolation. Now, you can have a work differently which interprets it differently. That's a different thing. But in the main body of the work itself, you cannot say something is an interpolation. Then, which is an interpolation, which is not an interpolation. What I want, I will take. What you want, you will take. Which is good in a buffet. But not for a pramana. Therefore, you have to give it some meaning. Therefore, to give it meaning, we will say, okay, Kartru Devatadi Prakarshanarthatvena or Kriya Vidisheshatvena or Upasana Vidhi Kriya Antara Vidinarthatvam va. 3 arguments. Since the karma is the main part, and the Upanishad is talking about Siddha Vishya, okay? Then you will have to say it is useful as Kat Devatadi Prakashana Arthatvena, by revealing the nature of the Karta, Tvam-pada, in Tattvamasi. Tvam-pada Karta, Tat-pada Devata, Ityadi, Prakashana Arthatvena. Therefore, it has got some purpose. Okay? Or Vidhi Vishesha Sheshatvam. He will become a Sesha to a Vidhi in the form of Arthavada or something like that. Or, no, it is as Bhinna Prakarna. The way Upanishad is a separate section. Then he says Vidhi Kriyantara Vidinarthatvam va. It becomes meaningful by coming into contact with a separate vidhi that is there in your Upanishad itself. Atmavare, Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya. Therefore, for Nididhyasana, do Shravanam. If you have some doubts, etc., Manam, then meditate. Then you will get Neva Vedanta out of it. The problem of this is that why? Karmanaha moksha, that's the whole idea. Either through Vedic karma, of course, but physical karma, Kayikam karma, or Manasam karma in the form of upasanas, meditation, etc. See, nobody in Vedanta is questioning whether meditation is needed by the student or not. That's not the idea. The idea that moksha is the result of meditation. Jnanam is a result of meditation. In other words, action produces moksha. Action produces jnana. That is what is the Purva Bhaksha about. Okay? That is what the Purva Bhaksha about. Okay.
Swamiji?
Yeah.
Swamiji, is Jaimini himself the Purva Bhaksha, or people who interpret his sutras become the Purva Bhaksha?
The people who interpret.
Okay.
Jaimini has not written anything against Vedanta. All he has said is, he has made the sutras interpreting the first section. That was his job. Okay. Remember, Jaimini was Vyasa's student. So, Vyasa's student cannot go so drastically different from Vyasa himself. Let us say there is a student, not understood the teacher properly, but still wrote a book. In fact, the people who understand will hesitate to write a book. Honestly, I'm telling you. People have been after me to write a book. Yeah, written a book hai. I have not taught all the books that I have studied. Why add to that? So people who understand will always hesitate to write. Therefore, many of the modern writers are people who don't understand. Honestly, I'm not joking. There's a book I got from UK. On the first 3 pages, I'm picking up mistakes. Abhi kya bolu? Anyway, the writer didn't ask me for a feedback, so I have not given it to him. If he asks me, I will give it to him. So, even if such a thing happens, there may be some errors. It won't be so drastically opposite. It can't be so drastically opposite. Therefore, very clear, Bhinna Prakarnam, and because there is Bhinna Prakarnam, we are having different rules for different things. So, the interpreters, the Mimamsakas, Purva Mimamsakas, the people who are karma orientation, will always take it this way. Because for them, karma is the main thing. In fact, if you read some of the Agama Shastras, which we use to set up our temples, etc., okay, they are valid. Agama Shastra. Okay? Like, we are going to set up our ashram temple by Shiva Agama. In Coimbatore also, it was set up by the Agama. Agama is part of the Veda, based on the Veda rather. So, that's the way of setting it up. If you are looking at their texts and their commentaries and everything, Vedanta becomes the Purva Bhaksha for them. Because they cannot let go of karma. Then how are you working with them? Yeah, you are disagreeing on some points, but as far as this is concerned, they are fine. As far as the karma section and setting up a temple is part of the karma section, no? It is not anything else. It is not some other section that you are talking about. It's part of karma only. And if it is part of karma, they are doing a good job, so let them do a good job. So the thing is, in your life, you will need karma. You will need jnana, all that. Okay. Otherwise, it will be like studying Vedanta and saying, I will not initiate any karma. Why not? Why not? There is nothing wrong in initiating karma. But the thing is, 1 second. The thing is, it is not that for your life it is useful or not. Are you going to gain moksha by karma or not is the question. That's why Ramana in the beginner's text, he makes it very clear. Okay? Chitta Shuddhi Karmana. Okay? Chitta Shuddhi will take place by karma. You have to do something about it. Now you have to take care of your mind. You have to get involved in life, etc. etc. Vastu Siddhi Vicharena. Vichara, the Pramana, for understanding nothing. So we make a clear-cut difference. Here, that is trying to be obliterated. Why? Nahi parinishta vastu swarupa pratipadanam sambhavati. It is not merely for revealing the swarupa of an existing entity. Why? Pratyakshadi vishayatvat parinishta vastuna. An existing object that is revealed by words is always available for another pramana. It's an existing thing. Gomukh. I am describing Gomukh. But if you go there, it's available for your perception. Therefore, if you are merely talking, like say, even in the first portion of the Veda, if you are merely talking about heaven, aisa aisa hai, you go there, you become pratiksha. So, where is the pramanyam? In telling you how to get there. All that is karma oriented. All that is karma oriented. Therefore, that way. Okay, which is Parisha Vastana. Tat Pratipadane cha heya upada rahite purushartha bhavat. And what are you talking about your Atma? Heya upade varjitam. It cannot be accepted or rejected. No? Assume. If you cannot accept or reject it, no karma will be involved in it. Because your definition of the Atma is like that. No? Heya upadeya varjitam. You cannot accept it, you cannot reject it. That means there is nothing to be done about it. No karma. Therefore, anarthakyam. For the words revealing the Atma. Yeah, because it's not connected with karma. Hey, in your Veda also there are things. You are giving a list of Vrihi, Dadi, etc. Yeah, there are also words which is revealing existing things. But we are revealing it to be used in a karma. Whereas your Atma is not available for karma then. If that is your stand, then what is the use of it? Anarthakyam. Okay, this is a Purvapaksha argument. Okay.
Swamiji, can you please repeat this point? I didn't get it.
See, that is, if in your Shastra, we are counter arguing with the Purvapaksha. Since in your text also there is mention of existing objects like oats, barley, ghee, dadi, etc. And his argument is yes, there is that. It is all mentioned. But it is mentioned as ingredients of a yaga, something that you have to offer. Therefore, it's connected with karma. Whereas your Atma is not connected with karma according to you. क्या करेगा? आत्मा है, ठीक है, रहने दो. आत्मा है, रहने दो. You can't do anything with it. Avyavaharyam. You have defined it like that. Not available for any vyavaharyam. क्या करेगा? रहने दो. Let it be. What is the use? Ateva. Now look at it. This is how we make seemingly meaningless statements meaningful. What is that? So arodit. So arodit. Okay. Ityadi. Ityamevadi. Nam anarthakya ma bhut. Iti vidinantu ekava vakya vastu stuti arthena vidinasyuhu. It's quoting a Jaimini Sutra. Now there is a story in the Upanishad. Agni wanted to go somewhere. All the devatas stopped him. So he howled in anger and grief and everything. And the tears that fell became silver. This is a story like that. You are talking about a yaga, your story which में किधर से आया? What is the use of such a story? Therefore, it will become anarthakyam, then useless. Instead of that, vidinatu ekavakita. It will become valid Because it joins, it gains ekavakyata with the vidhi. That means what? The vidhi is the main statement. We'll have some more discussions about the vidhi later. Main statement. For that main statement, you will say a description of things are given. That's pramana because ekavakyata will be vidhi. This is supposed to be used in the vidhi. ये story क्या करने का? स्तुति अर्थ है ना. In terms of praise or criticism, vidhinas, praise or criticism. That means in this particular yaga, near the which the story has occurred, Bhashya yaga it's called, you are not supposed to give silver as dakshina or use silver in any form. Copper is okay, gold is okay. Not silver. Brass is okay. Any other metal is okay, but not silver. Okay, you can't give silver. Therefore, that way it gains connection. Alright. Similarly, mantrana, ishetva, ityadinam, kriya tat sadhana, abhidhayakatvena, karma, sambhavyatvam. Another mantra, ishetvam. For the sake of food, I am cutting you. अरे काटने का तो काटना. मंत्रा के बोले क्या है? That's revealing your respectful attitude, etc. Therefore, again, why are you cutting it? For the sake of the yaga, etc. Therefore, it becomes part of it. In fact, the tradition is, before you cut a tree, you seek the permission of the tree. You seek the permission of the forest. Only then you cut a tree. Only then you cut a tree. Otherwise, all the devatas that are there will leave that place. It's very important, especially if you are thinking of setting up a temple or an ashram or something like that. Even for a house is necessary. All the positive energies should be there. Nobody but those kato man, kato. Cut it out. Yes, actually. This is how the procedure. You can't just cut off anything just like that. Okay. Therefore, that's how it becomes. Na kvachid veda vakyanam vidhim sparshanam antarena arthavatam drishta upapanna va. That means what? Without in the Veda Vakyana, among the Vakyas available in the Veda, Vidhi Sansparsham Antarena, without having a connection to a Vidhi, okay, Arthavatad na drishtaha, you don't see any meaningfulness in it, Utpannova, nor can it be, and meaning can be raised out of it, unless it's connected to a Vidhi. And therefore what? Nacha parinishte vastu swarupe vidhi sambhavati. Whereas, if you are talking about an already existing thing, what vidhi are you going to do? You cannot use it for any vidhi. Why? Kriya visheshvat videhe. All vidhis are connected to kriyas. Without connection to kriyas, there is no vidhi. तस्मात् कर्म अपेक्षित कर्तृत्व देवतादि स्वरूप प्रकाशनेन क्रिया विधि विशेषत्वं वेदांतानां. Therefore, if you want your Vedanta to have Pramanyam, let it be Kartru Devatadi Swarupa Prakashanena, by revealing the Swarupa of the Karta and the Devata. Swarupa, Tvapada, Karta, Tatpada. It's revealing the Swarupa of that to enhance the effect of the karma. है ना ईसावास्य उपनिषद में अंधम तमश प्रविशन्ति ये अविद्यामुपासते ततः भूयः एव तमः Yam vidyam upasate. Those who worship avidya, karma, go into great darkness. Those who worship upasana, vidya meaning do upasanas, they will go into greater darkness. Why is it said? So that upasana and karma can be connected together and done together. Together, if they are done, they'll enhance the result. So your whole Vedanta Vakya is meant for upasana to enhance the result of the karma that you're going to do. There can be some idiots who do it without. So the karma feeling, karma phalam. But those who study Vedanta and do the karma, or enhancement हो जाएगा. There are many Brahmanas who believe this, okay? There are many champions who believe this. That's why very rarely you will find a priest sitting in a Vedanta class. In fact, it's almost impossible. Yeah, it's almost impossible. Because of this. Yeah. अथ प्रकरणांतर भयात् नेतदभिगमे तथापि स्ववाक्यगत उपासनादिकरत्वम्. But he says, but by this the prakaranantara is destroyed. So if you are saying prakarna antaram, that means another prakarna, that Upanishad is another prakarna, because there is enough analysis to show another prakarna, then he says, no problem. Tadyapi abhyugame tathapi swakyagata upasanadi karma paratvam. Swakyagata. How many upasanas are your Upanishad talking about? You can't say all Upanishad Vakyas are only about the reality. Taittiriya देखो कितना upasanas आया है उसमें. How many are there? It's a different thing that you Vedantans are idiots and you don't do it. करता तो बहुत अच्छा होता था. In fact, one or two of them I made you all do also. Yeah. So, इसके लिए, therefore, the major आत्मा वारे द्रष्टव्य उसका अंदर आ गया सब. तस्मा ब्रह्मणः शास्त्र योनित्वं प्राप्ते उच्यते. So the answer to that is in the Bhashya that's going to follow. Now, there is something to be understood about the vidhis per se. In this book there are some notes on it, okay? But it's important to see this. Okay. Now, what is a vidhi? Vidhi can be said it's a directive. It's an order. In Sanskrit we use vidhi ling. Those who have studied a little bit of Sanskrit, you have come across the vidhi ling. Kartavyam, etc. It has to be done. So, whatever, all the dhatus can be there in vidhi ling. Okay? Dhatus. Why dhatus? Because kriya. Okay? Vidhi is connected to kriya. So only the dhatus can come. Yeah. So, you can't say, is there a vidhi ling for Rama? Rama gachati, उसमें vidhi ling हो सकता है. Gantavya vidhi. Okay? Tavya pratyaya I am adding instead of vidhi ling. But okay. The same meaning. Alright. Therefore, vidhi ling. Now the vidhi is an impelling. Okay? Hey, do this. This is an impelling in that. Now that impelling, yeah, here he is talking about giving it as an effective force or a productive force. Whatever. Okay? It is impelling you to do something. The order is meant for that, no? Meant for that. But sometimes udhar bhi gadbad hota hai. I was dealing with one of our workshops for the naval officers, interface between naval staff and the civilian staff that works for them, especially in Indian Naval Dockyard and all that. So I said, so you have to understand one fundamental difference. Okay? If you give your junior officers an order, they'll say, yes sir, it will be done. No two ways about it. In corporate, they'll discuss it.
No, sir.
You'll have a discussion about it. Yaar, karna de. Culture is different. And One is emergencies meant for emergency situations, one is meant for non-emergency situations where creative solutions etc. are necessary. It is not that the army you don't have or the navy you don't have discussion oriented. Those are strategy meetings. Only there it will be like that. Otherwise, give an order. If you give a Jawan an order, he'll say, "Ji sahab," and it will be done. You give the civilian staff an order, he'll say, "Haji," and he'll disappear. करेगा सब करेगा हो जाएगा but when so you have to be very specific for all these things. A Jawan doesn't think twice. He'll say, "Yeah, done abhi done means what? He's giving an order, done right now." सब बोला नहीं कभी जब चाहिए हम सोचा कल परसों ठीक हो जाएगा. No, it's supposed to be impelling force. Okay. All right. Now when you hear a vidhi, okay, this impelling force technically is called a bhavana. Okay. It's called a bhavana. Now the bhavana, this is not the way music uses the word bhavana. There is some overlap areas. Okay, there is some overlap areas. What that creates a feeling in you. That much is overlap area. Hey, I must do this. Whereas in music, the bhavana is created by the meaning and the devotion of the singer. The singer has a bhavana. The people who are listening have the rasa. If the bhavana is there is no rasa. Or there is no rasa because he's not paying attention. He's busy looking around who has come, who has not come. Yeah, anyway. Therefore, bhavana here. This bhavana is created twofold. Okay. Arthi bhavana and Shabdi bhavana. Arthi is by the meaning of it, by what is being revealed. Shabdi by the words, the descriptive part of it. Two bhavanas, both are bhavana, but Arthi bhavana and Shabdi bhavana. How it is said? Let us look at it. Okay. Now, for Arthi Bhavana, the vidhis will be Ajnata Jnapakam. Ajnata Jnapakam vidhi. What you don't know is revealing. Like Arthi, hey, there is heaven, aisa hai. Okay. That creates a sense in you. Arthi Bhavana. Hey, achha, I can do this, I can go to heaven. Okay. So now the Bhavana is created by Ajnata Jnapakam. What you don't know has been revealed. Okay? Ajnata Jnapakam. Okay? Alright. Now in Arthi Bhavana also there is Ajnata Jnapakam. Okay? And what all is it revealing? Revealing the sadhya, what is to be achieved. The fruit of that action. The instrument, the sadhana with which you achieve it, what all you need, ghee, dadi, etc., all those things, and the method, iti kartavyata, how to do it. Okay, all that will come in Ajnata Jnapakam. This is it. So, for Arthi Bhavana, you need these three factors. All these factors are revealed by the vidhi called Ajnata Jnapakam. What you don't know is being revealed. This type of vidhis. Correct? Twofold vidhi. Okay. One vidhi, bhavana. Twofold bhavana. Arthi, shabda. Okay. Arthi bhavana requires all this. Three types. Revealing the sadhyam, the means, materials used, etc., and the result. Okay. And the method, yati kartavyata. Okay. Then what is the second one? Second type of vidhi for this bhavana? Shabdam. Shabdam is ajnata, not ajnata jnapakam. Okay. Apravartaka pravartanam. What you have not done, you have to get into doing it. Na? So vidhi, arthi, shabda. Artha is ajnata purvakam, shabda is apravartaka pravartakam. What you have not done, you are being impelled to do that. So what will that involve? Okay. What is to be done? Agnishtomena, kena, dadana juhoti. By this you should do. Katham, in what way? But Swamiji, there are overlap areas. Yes, there are overlap areas. Why? Because one vidhi creates one bhavana. One bhavana is divided into arthi and shabdi. Arthi bhavana ajnata jnapakam. Shabdi bhavana akrita pravartakam. What you have not done, don't do. Getting it, the whole thing? This is how a vidhi functions. The broad category of a vidhi. Okay. One vidhi, this is how it functions. What it actually, because it says bhavana, actually speaking, it is putting a hook into your mind. I was sitting aram se, wondering, क्या करूँ यार, life इतना ही है क्या? Generally, pensive mood. So someone comes and tells me, what? Swarga kamaha yejet. ये क्या है? The place called Swarga. अरे अच्छा लगता है. Bhavana. Maybe you should do it. Now that bhavana is created by what? Has got two aspects to it. One is the meaning about heaven, etc. Ajnata jnapakam. And okay, how will I do it? Arthi, shabdam. One is arthi, one is shabda. How to do it? Okay, all that I'll go. Are you getting the idea? It is hooking into your need, or it's creating a need in you. Dissatisfaction is a fact in your heart. Why? Remember, Atma Jnanam. Therefore, because of ignorance, there is a sense of finitude. You struggle to get rid of it. Therefore, if you are struggling to get rid of it, all you know is adding something or cutting off something. Therefore, vidhi comes and says, immediately you get hooked on. Bhavana is created. The bhavana is created only because of a sense of finitude, not otherwise. Here is a person. He is enjoying what they call in astrology a samsara sukham. So one of my astrologer friends in Rishikesh, great guy he was. He said, "Oh, this horoscope is a good one. Got a lot of samsara sukham." After the man went away, I told him, "Swamiji, what you are talking? For us, samsara is dukkam. Now, what sukham you are talking about?" Samsara sukham means two kids will be fighting there. One toddler would have dirtied the place. Mother is harassed with the cooking. Another kid has disappeared, you know where it is. This is called samsara sukham. Okay. Now, someone like that who has got samsara sukham, here, putra kamaha yajet. If you are desirous of a child, do this yaga. Hey, no bhavana. Hey, both ho gaya. No bhavana is created. Correct or not?
So
It's
this
like-
bhavana, Swamiji, can be called a desire.
That's called as?
Desire, like it.
It's a bit more than desire. Yeah. Because you can have a desire. Acha re. Do nothing
Like
about it.
binding desire, can you say?
Yeah, it will be a binding desire always. Yeah. May not be there also. That's why I said you have to be see which vidhi will hook you. Sunday paper, matrimonial columns. कौन देखेगा? Someone is single, wants to get married, he hopes to find somebody through real loop. I've been there, done that, नहीं चाहिए. Or let me see what type of characters. But are you impelled by it? No. What is the scene? Okay. So this is how a general vidhi works. Now, there's another way of looking at the whole vidhi. Okay. This divides the vidhi into 4 types.
Okay.
All the vidhis that are available is divided into 4 types. Utpatti vidhi. Now what is Utpatti vidhi? Okay. Utpatti vidhi will be, it teaches you the swarupa of their action. How this is the action. Okay. And Viniyoga is the relation with the whole and the parts. Because one vidhi, one karma may be a part of 2-3 other larger karmas. So that is called Viniyoga. How to do about the whole thing. Okay. Then Adhikar vidhi. What is the, remember in Adhikar vidhi you think, oh, the Adhikari. What is the result? Then you can decide whether you are an Adhikari for that or not. As I said, Putra Kameshni. Are you an Adhikari? Nahi chahiye. Swarga Kama. Maybe interesting. Okay. It reveals the result. Okay. And what do you call? Prayoga vidhi. Prayoga vidhi teaches you in detail of all that has to be done. This is how it is to be done. The methodology. Iti kartavyata. ये करने का पहला वो करने का that etc. You can't do anything anyway. There's a methodology about it. Like in any function, methodology है ना. You're making sambar. Cook the dal, mix it up with the tamarind, the salt, spices, etc. Acha, first you mix the tamarind and the dal and then try to cook it. What will happen? Dal will not get cooked. So if in a simple thing like making sambar you have to look at it, what about going to heaven?
So, Swamiji, what is the swarupa of an action is Utpatti vidhi? So, what kind of nature? Can you give an example?
Which one?
Just the first one.
The swarupa of the action. He is only telling you this is the ritual to go here. So it is more connected with the end, and this is the connection with this karma. That's all. Utpatti, the beginning.
Okay.
The beginning is like this. Now you decide. Then little bit more. Yeah. So it is not that you read it in the same order. It may come in any order. You will see and you will decide it. But this is how the whole thing is structured. Whole thing is structured. Okay. Now what will happen? Utpatti vidhi and Viniyoga vidhi will belong to Arthi Bhavana. Utpatti and Viniyoga is to Arthi Bhavana, and Adhikara vidhi and Prayoga vidhi is with Shabdi Bhavana, because that is actually doing what is to be done, etc. No? So that is Shabdam. The other is creating the motivation. The other two are creating motivation, these two are creating the procedure. So Shabdam. Direct only the Shabda, the word is I do this like that. The other is Arthi, what is the content of the whole thing. Okay. Like he gives an example here also. प्रयोग विधि किम करोमि, okay, क्रमांतम संगम कर्म, okay, केन, by whom, katham, by mantras, etc. So all that is described in prayoga vidhi. Okay. So as I said, there may be some overlap here and there. Okay, because it's not watertight compartments, no. You're looking, okay, this is prayoga, this is this, etc. So some overlap may be there. Like, supposing someone is saying, okay, for sambar you need these things. Okay, fine. Then detailed description of how it is to be used, how to make. So overlap hoga ke nahi? These, yeah, overlap will be there, but that's okay. Yeah. But one is very clear. This only listing. This is actually describing. Just because there is an overlap doesn't mean the separateness is not there. Yeah.
And then you see the whole thing and decide it's too much, so not to make it from outside.
So I always say I have the best cooking tool in the world. Takes care of everything. Yeah.
So Swamiji, Vidya will always have a alam, no?
Karma.
Will always have result.
Yeah. Therefore, it will have a Shabdi Bhavana, it will have an Arthi Bhavana. This much the Vidhi will have. Okay. So, given that, okay, now tell me, where can you fit in Vedanta here?
No, this you will say all this is avidya.
Good one. Good one. All this is avidya only. Avidya with Bhashya. Correct. Correct. Then why is the Veda presented? IVF to get a child, infertility treatment, etc. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. No? It's all avidya based, no? Correct. But people's needs are strong. I want to have a child. Many ways. I want to have a child. Therefore, I am willing to go through all that. I am willing to spend all that money. Not after having a child. After having a child also you have to spend a lot of money. If you want to get them educated, this, that, etc. A lot of money is involved today's world. Yeah. But you are willing to do that. Why? Because it's important to you. Who is to decide what is important to you or not?
बिकॉज़ सबसे बेस्ट निरंतर वाली भी रखते हैं क्या बोला
You are supposed to decide what is important or not. No? If you are going to decide it, then you want it. So the Veda says all this is available now. You went through IVF treatment also. Krishna Vaya. Then you will go to an astrologer. It's a karmic bondage. ये कर लो. Are you willing to do? Too expensive here. He is asking 30,000 rupees for it. And how much did you spend for IVF treatments? Oh, a few lakhs. Did it work? No. But what guarantees that this will work? Did you ask IVF for a guarantee?
ओके चल आगे
Did you ask the IVF character for a guarantee? In fact, probably if you have done this, it is only block is only karmic, and you have done this first, you would not have necessarily needed the IVF. Naturally, हो सकता था. Like this couple came to me. I know the couple very well. Husband and wife both working, highly stressed. In fact, they came. They invited me for dinner at their place. Their aunt asked. Their aunt thought, Sadhu Maharaj, blessings will work. Says, they are not getting a child. कुछ बता देना उनके लिए. So the couple were getting a bit embarrassed. I said, go for a holiday and come, yaar. Everything will be taken care of. You think so? I said, yeah. because they wanted a job. Go for a holiday and come back. Highly stressed. Stress is one of the biggest problems for conception. Went on a holiday, came back. This is how sadhus' reputations are made. Bless your sub. पहुंचा हुआ महात्मा है. Your desire is strong, therefore Veda gives you the means for it. Or kya? That is Ishvara's compassion. Should I take a stand? I am only a Vedanta teacher. Don't come to me with all these. Yeah, you have the freedom. There are some Vedanta teachers who take this stand. That's the freedom. Or you can be a bit compassionate and say, okay, something like this. Oh, go. The astrologer I know. Ask him. We'll give you some solutions. Do it. Really? Sir? Will it work? I said he's got an 85% success rate. Not 100%. Is there anything with a 100% success rate? No. Take your chance. See if you want to do it. How valuable it is to you. Your bhavana. Arthi. Can you see where the bhavana? It is not just from the words. There's a revealing. But it is also hooked. There's a hook is inside you. Arthi bhavana.
But Swamiji says Purva Mimamsa only says about Arthi. No, suppose if I don't want to go further, then where is the action?
Then no.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
then they themselves say that. Then
But it is connected with an action or not. You don't want to do it. That means you are not the adhikari for it. You are not putrakami, therefore you are not adhikari. Finish.
but
Okay,
vidhi, there are so many other vidhis also. I may be
You
adhikari
may be
for
adhikari
something,
for
but
something
I
else.
still
Exactly.
may not do it. So then there is no kartrutvam. So,
So,
because they
then we say, if you are not adhikari for any of that, you still have a sense of finitude, which you want to get rid of. The unwept sorrow in your heart. Upanishadam pata, come. Let me ajaoge. Come to the Vedanta. Come to Vedanta. Are you getting the idea? How the whole vidhi works? This is how the vidhis work. Okay. Now, he wants to include the whole of Vedanta into this vidhi section. Tell me, where will you include it? Let us do an Ardha Angikara. Remember my argument. Ardha Angikara, partial acceptance. All right, let us fit it into a vidhi. What vidhi will it fit into?
Arthi.
Huh? No.
Arthi. In the
No.
Upasana.
Huh?
Upasana.
Ajnata Jnapakam. What you don't know is being revealed. Ardhangikara. Ajnata Jnapakam, no? But after Ajnata Jnapakam, there is Kriya Vidhi after that. Iti Kartavyata, etc. come into the. Here does it come? Ajnata Jnapakam, you are revealed. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma iti. उसके बाद क्या करेगा? मस्तराम बाबा होके बैठ जाओ. What vidhi are you doing? After knowing I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, what should I do? If you know, you know you have to do nothing. Are you getting the idea?
No, but it doesn't happen like that, no?
Huh?
Somebody says you are Satyam Jnanam Anantam and
Yeah. So that's why you have to go to a teacher to learn.
तो फिर वो श्रोतव्यम मंतव्यम
All that. Yeah, so Shravana Mananam is part of. So Mananam and Nididhyasanam are Angis. Angas. Angas for the main Angi Shravana. Shravanam is the main thing. Other two become aids for it. If Shravanam is not enough, what is blocking you? My doubts. Mananam. What is blocking you? My feelings, my conditioning. Nididhyasanam. But in Nididhyasanam, is Mananam unconnected with Shravanam? What are you discussing about? What you heard, no? The doubts with respect to what you have heard is being clarified in Mananam. In contemplation, what you are doing, something different or connected with what you have heard Shravanam?
Same thing.
It's connected. So, both Shravanam and Shravanam becomes the Angi, the main thing. Mananam and Nididhyasanam becomes Angas, part of it. Depending upon the mental state of the student. That is why Athato Brahma Jignasa. Sadhana Chatushte Ananta. If all the sadhana Chatushte are there in good measure, you need only Shravanam. Mananam and Nididhyasanam not necessary. But we don't come to Vedanta like that. Not we at any time. There are always students who didn't come like that. No? Remember in Kena Upanishad, after the whole Upanishad is over, this guy say, Upanishadam Bruhi. Pura Upanishad ho gaya. Also, please tell me the Upanishad. Meaning, what you are taught, for me is not enough, I need more. Therefore, he gives some sadhanas. Satyam, Damaha, etc. He says. Because that will depend upon what the guy needs. There is only one sadhana which is universal, given for everyone. Karma Yoga Buddhi. Universal. Make your whole life a sadhana. Finished. Best sadhana possible. Then, most Vedanta teachers will not give too much of other sadhana. But at the most of japa meditation will be given. Okay? Rarely puja, this, that, etc. is given. Today in modern world, a little bit puja, etc. is given because bhakti bhava is not there. Therefore, karma yoga buddhi becomes difficult. But we always give it with a caution. Be careful of karma. It can involve you. Any karma is like that. Any karma is like that. You started with a small, I'll just light a lamp, offer a few flowers. उसके लिए कुछ मूर्ति चाहिए, हाँ एक मूर्ति रखा. Then Ganesh also has to be there, ना. Okay नहीं हाँ. फिर आंजनेय भी चाहिए ना, ending, beginning, ending तो चाहिए. Then, but my Kula Devata is this different, so वो भी चाहिए. Then ये दो आ गया तो why not bring these two also into it? So at the end of it, what you are planning for 10 minutes becomes 1 hour every day. So be careful. Be careful. This happens in any type of karma. We thought ashram mein temple chahiye. Dakshinamurti. But kshetra is Devi kshetra. So naturally you have to acknowledge Devi. Now there are only 3 kshetras in the world. Shaktam, Shaivam, Vaishnavam. So why not acknowledge Vaishnavam? Okay. But Ganpati has to be there. Okay. Then Vishnu is there. As Sevakas, Garuda and Anjaneya is coming. I mean, बोला अभी बस करो. Otherwise, I will need a whole department to look only after the temple. Correct or not? It's an ashram temple, Baba, छोटा सा. Because then you can put the Navagrahas also there. You can put Kartikeya there, Skanda.
Ayyappa,
तत्त्वमसि उपदेश करता. So अय्यप्पा भी आएगा.
चिन्मयानंद मिशन मुंबई में तो एक शिवलिंग देखा है. और क्या है?
फिर come on यार, गंगा नहीं आएगा. All the rivers will not be there. दक्षिणामूर्ति का सिर पर गंगा है, बस हो गया. अबे, because karma is like that, is it not? That's why in sadhana we give the minimum. Because it can involve you like that. Be careful. As I joke, you are channeling your inner Brahmana. Brahmana नहीं बोलने के, inner कर्मठा बोलना पड़ेगा भी. Because karma is like that. Now, if at all, with Artha you are putting Vedanta in a Vidhi, it can only be Ajnata Jnapakam. You are revealing what is there. After that, kuch nahi karne ka, bas. Sadhana is to get your mind ready. Karma Yoga based sadhana. बट भक्ति भाव नहीं है कर्मयोगा के लिए, ठीक है, तो कल्टिवेट भक्ति है बेटर. But it's not that bhakti is created only by puja part. Sing bhajans, that also create bhakti. Yeah?
But kuch nahi karne ka can also be a result of what you have done.
Yeah. Because I've done there, I got ready for it. Exactly. That's why after that you don't have to do. Before you have to do a lot. Before coming into Shravanam, a lot has to be done. Whole life has to be lived. Yeah. That's important. Yeah, Karthik.
Swamiji, not just Vedanta, but any knowledge, even though it seems like it fits into
Ajnata jnana.
it's actually not, right? Because knowledge is already there. It is just that you're preparing your mind
Yeah.
for that knowledge.
That's why there's no karma involved in it.
Right, in any knowledge.
Yeah.
Any form
Any
of-
karma is preparing the mind. Knowledge is the Shravanam.
Right.
And because Shravanam is involved, what you don't know is being revealed. Therefore, as an Ardha Angikara, 50, half acceptance, you will say, okay, Ajnata Jnana. Beyond that, it cannot come in anything. It can't come in anything.
Swamiji, in the religions, most of the religions, there is not much emphasis on preparation of the mind, no? They don't emphasize preparing the mind or anything, like that. It is not, because they don't talk about that part only.
See, that is because most religions don't have knowledge in moksha. No? Religion is not concerned that much with moksha. Actually, it should be. Every practice has got some moksha integration into it. The aim is that, but the religious leaders don't talk about it. It's only the Vedanta Acharyas who talk about it. That's the tragedy. That's the tragedy. Because a temple was supposed to be a center of learning for everything. Art, culture, heritage, and Vedanta as well. That's why olden temples always had a Sabhagraha connected. So you would have music, art, dance performance, everything, plus Vedanta teaching also. That's a good traditional temple. In fact, in Chembur we have that temple. RNA building ka baju mein. There is a small hall attached. So all sorts of stuff happen there, including pravachans happen there. In the regional language, that's fine. Who said in regional language? It can't be done. It better be done. So everything happens in that hall. That's how it's meant to be. But that's not how it is always said, because the seekers of moksha are always small in number. Those who discern the problem when it comes to Vedanta will always be small. Even people going to the temple, there are some people who go regularly, once a week, twice a week, whatever. But during Shravan month, temples are overflowing. People who never saw in your life are there. You are a regular temple goer, you see some people. You are nodding equivalents of them. But Shravan Mondays in the temple, you see, it's always like that. So all that is mainly meant to cultivate the bhakti. So that with that bhakti you can come lead a life of karma yoga and gain moksha. That is where the whole thing is. Nothing else. Yeah, nothing else. So good place to stop. So next time we will see Shankara's answer to the whole thing. Okay. Good place to stop. All that.